legendary Menam Chao Phraya, often referred to as the Royal River, is the largest and also the most important river in Thailand. It travels through Bangkok. Close to the center of the city, the floating markets attract both local people and tourists alike. For several centuries, the everyday life of Bangkok, formerly known as Krung Thep, has been closely associated with its canals. The most important sanctuary in the city's historic royal palace in Bangkok is Wat Phra Keo, the temple of the Emerald Buddha with its highly visible gilded Chedi. The devotion to Buddhism of the Royal Thai Chakri Dynasty is displayed here in impressive style. One treasure in particular stands out. Even though photographs are strictly prohibited, the Emerald Buddha, the temple's most sacred object. Unlike the unified architecture of the Wat Phra Keo, the Royal Grand Palace features a combination of distinct designs as it developed during the reign of 7 monarchs. It has thus been the subject of much transformation. A fascinating sight that makes a good photo. Today, the Royal Palace is increasingly popular and is visited by tourists from each corner of the world. The development of the lavishly furnished Wat Phra temple in the heart of the Old Town dates back to the founder of the Chakri Dynasty, King Rama I. The majestic buildings were completed 3 decades later under King Rama III. A Buddha figure also serves as a tomb as it contains the ashes of King Rama VIII. The excellent National Museum is contained within the palace of a former king. It provides visitors with a fascinating insight into Thailand's colourful past. The Prone Buddha is one of the most famous landmarks in Wat Pho, the oldest sacred site in Bangkok, as well as being the largest temple in Thailand. The temple dates back to the great epoch of Ayutthaya, when Bangkok was a small and unimportant settlement. For many years, Wat Pho was the city's first and only university. Today, it is the site of a prestigious school. Traditional Thai medicine and massage are taught within the revered walls of Wat Pho. The Temple of Dawn, Wat Arun, is particularly fascinating due to its pointed 80-metre high tower, or prang. As with Wat Pho, the origin of this temple also dates back to the flowering period of the Ayutthaya epoch, even though its present form was created at the beginning of the 19th century. The main prang of Wat Arun differs from the normal architecture of the Khmer with its elegant lines and extended height. Boat tours through the Klongs, narrow and extensive canals, are a good way to enjoy the sights of Bangkok. Even though the Klongs are not as important as they were a century or more ago, they are an atmospheric reminder of the past. It's not surprising that Bangkok was once referred to as the Venice of the East. However, many of the city's Klongs have now made way for urban development. Some of the history of the former kings of Thailand is also on display in a large boathouse in the old part of Bangkok, Thonburi. The royal barges indicate the impressive wealth of the monarchs and the great skill of the shipbuilders and artisans of those bygone days. Wat Phra, the temple of the Golden Buddha, held a secret for many centuries that was eventually only discovered by accident. The somewhat plain plaster coating of the Buddha figure hid the fact that it was actually made of pure gold. Cultural traditions are displayed in numerous presentations and events. The martial arts are one of Thailand's national treasures. The roots of Thai boxing, Muay Thai, date back to the 16th century. In addition, various folk dance presentations and traditional Thai wedding ceremonies are now reenacted. A total of 320 steps leads up to the 60-metre high observation platform of Phu Khao Thong within the temple site of Wat Phra Keo. The view is quite remarkable, as is the figurative decor and even some of the temple's amiable visitors. From the lively capital of Thailand, the boat travels north on the Menam Chao Phraya River and even further back into the past. The relaxing boat journey passes a large variety of interesting buildings and temples. Some of Bangkok's most beautiful monuments were built close to the river when the city was extended from the riverbanks in the 19th century. Today, temples and also many high-rise buildings line the banks of the Chao Phraya. Modern skyscrapers dominate the skyline of this city that has a population of 8 million. One of the most recent and exciting structures in Bangkok is a cable suspension bridge that was completed in 2002 following 3 years of construction and was named after King Rama VIII. The 475-metre-long road bridge is of great importance to the overburdened streets of this busy capital city. Excursion boats provide passengers with an escape route from the chaotic traffic jams and air pollution of Bangkok. In recent years, a large number of excursion boat companies have opened up on the Chao Phraya. Tourism is big business in Thailand. The stark contrast of both past and present is plain to see. It's an intriguing and captivating sight. Photos taken from the river provide a good range of picturesque shots, and there's always something new to see. The sight of so many beautiful historic temples is amazing. Even today, the Chao Phraya River serves as an important lifeline for Thailand. Even though shipping is no longer important on the 370-kilometre long river, the Menam Chao Phraya is frequented by hordes of tourists. In addition to numerous historic buildings, the boat also passes by many districts in which poverty is rife. Even so, the inhabitants in this part of the country are relatively well off compared to those elsewhere. Around 60 kilometres north of Bangkok, the boat arrives at a natural island in the middle of the Chao Phraya. From the landing stage, it is only a few steps to the former royal summer residence of Bang Pa In. The summer palace dates back to the 17th century, and over the years has gradually been rebuilt and further improved. With the sudden decline of the kingdom of Ayutthaya in 1767, the palace district of Bang Pa In was almost totally abandoned. However, in the middle of the 19th century, under the legendary Chakri king Mongkut, this once magnificent area enjoyed a further period of prosperity. The majority of the buildings were erected during the reign of Mongkut's son, King Chulalongkorn, who was also an important statesman. Of the original buildings of the summer residence built during the reign of King Prasat Tong of the Ayutthaya dynasty, few have survived to the present day. One of the most prominent landmarks of the palace district is the Ho Wituntasana Tower. The observatory was built during the reign of King Chulalongkorn and was completed in 1881. Today, the tower is open to the public and offers a magnificent view of the residence and the surrounding scenery of the Bang Pa In Park. King Chulalongkorn's talents were not only limited to the design of the beautiful and richly decorated buildings of the summer palace. Following his accession to the throne in 1868, he declared that all his subjects be free. And he also modernized the country, both technologically as well as economically. The beautiful gardens and their artistically cut hedges are yet another of the summer palace's attractions. The variety of architectural styles that range from Victorian and Chinese to Renaissance are also equally impressive. Even though Hua Hin is now the official summer residence of the Thai royal family, Bang Pa In is still the epitome of age-old elegance. A few kilometres upriver is the ruined city of Ayutthaya, the legendary capital of a kingdom that once influenced a huge area of Southeast Asia for more than 400 years. Much effort was put into the construction of the city's fortifications due to the political climate of that time. However, despite this, the Burmese invaded in the 18th century and Ayutthaya was completely ravaged. Few of the city's sacred buildings and works of art were untouched by the savagery of the Burmese. Yet the city's future was so promising when Prince U Tong originally founded the capital in 1350. The earlier Sukhothai dynasty offered almost no resistance to the kingdom of Ayutthaya and its leader King U Tong. In subsequent years, the capital of the newly founded kingdom quickly developed into an important economic and cultural centre. An increasing number of European and Asian traders began to settle in the growing metropolis, its size and splendour becoming famous throughout the world. Ayutthaya owes much of its fame to its exceptional temple sites, such as Wat Phra Keo. The tall Chedis were not only of religious significance, they also served as a mausoleum for the ashes of 3 members of the royal family. But even these monumental tombs were not safe from the plundering of the Burmese, as they were also broken into and robbed of their treasures. Until the arrival of the Burmese in 1767, a total of 33 kings had influenced the history of Ayutthaya. Internal strife eventually led to the military weakening of the city. It is believed that some members of the royal family opened one of the city gates for the Burmese invaders. The occupation lasted more than 15 years when the Thai people eventually took control of their glorious former capital city. However, the city was in a sorry state. The Burmese had not only massacred most of the population, they had also desecrated Ayutthaya's religious buildings. In Buddhist belief, the spirit lives within the human skull. Thus, the temple's decapitated statues were of much religious significance. Despite the devastating destruction and the gradual decay of the temple, the former size and the importance of the city are still discernible in these picturesque ruins. Unlike the temples, little remains of the 3 great royal palaces of the old capital. They were pulled down by the Burmese. Wonderful monumental buildings can also be found outside the historic centre of Ayutthaya, such as the Wat Phra Monastery. Regardless of their poor condition, many of the city's Buddhist temples are still used as places of worship. With the conquest of Ayutthaya in the 18th century, a golden era came to an end that was soon followed by yet another great cultural epoch. Due to the many historic sites and fascinating sanctuaries that were built along the banks of the Menam Chao Phraya, this great royal river has played a vital role in the cultural development of Thailand, a land that even today still exudes the exotic ambience of a golden age.